Hello, Sophia Rose, the Practical Mystic from Catalyst Resources. I'm going to give you a very short demo of the EFT tapping points. I have a longer video with a complete session, really, and some of the explanation. But I do have a detailed handout that some of you may already have, or you can contact me through my website, and you can get that or have a session over the phone or in person. But I just want to make sure you know where the points are and you feel confident, and give you a very brief example of the scripting as I'm going along. We'll use depression because that's so common and we're all depressed at some point to some degree, and some are more chronic and clinical. So I'm going to just mention very quickly the steps leading up to the points. So I suggest that you prepare your energy system even before you start with some centering, meditation, chakras, grounding, etc. And then you decide, of course, what you're going to work on. And it can be an issue, an incident in the recent past or very long ago, a health condition, pain, allergy, addiction, behavior change, emotions, beliefs, the whole gamut, really. It's very practical and diverse. So you set your intention, what you're clearing, you rate how much you're feeling that when you focus on it now in severity on a 1 to 10, 10 being the highest, and then you start with the setup statement, which is to remove any self-sabotage or self-judgment and to allow you to receive the healing. So the point for that is called the karate chop. It's on the side of the hand, and it's by this first wrinkle, crease here. Approximately. Rather than tapping as you normally do, I use both hands and just karate chop them together. And you're usually saying the setup phrase 3 times. So even though I have this depression, I love and accept myself completely, etc. Then I like to start at the top of the head. Everybody has their own little spin on EFT, and there have been many innovations by many teachers, including myself, and I add some things too. So top of the head, that's the brain. You might as well go where the real action is, right? So using all your fingertips, firmly tapping along the midline there. I'm kind of around it a little bit. I'll move down. And stating the issue, this depression. Always deep breathing. On the exhalation, I even exaggerate it and imagine that I'm blowing it out of my system. I'm just circulating this positive energy through me. Now, when you get around the face and the eyes, you're going to want to use just 2 fingers. Obviously, it's more delicate there. Next point, inside corner of the eyebrows. This depression is so heavy. 7 to 10 times. Outside corner of the eye, about halfway between corner and the hairline. Sort of towards the eye more, maybe. You know, you're not going to be exact like an acupuncture needle, which is extremely thin. So it's always good to kind of move around, and you're stimulating that general area of the meridian. And there are many points on the meridians, and they all have to do with a certain organ and gland and emotion. And if you have a body sensation, like this depression feels so heavy, include that always as well. It'll help you focus and to evaluate if it's shifting. This heaviness I feel in my heart, under the eyes, mid-center here on the bone. Watch out for the eyeball. You don't have to tap super hard, obviously, around these delicate areas. Now here's one I've added in. It's from Donna Eden, who is a world-renowned energy healer and teacher. And she uses this next one for addictions or behavior change. You want to quit smoking, weight management, substances, etc. So you're already here. Just come back to the temples, and you come around, tap the temples, go around the back, the side of the skull, come down here, come up under the jaw, and do that 3 times. People store a lot of tension in their temples and jaw anyway, and that tends to be a tense area, regardless if you have anything stored there or not. And then the limbic system, which is a key component in the emotional memory storage, is deep in this part of the brain. So what the heck, you might as well add in a little bonus here. So, so then you've come around, done that 3 times. Next point would be top of the lip and then under the lip in this cleft of the chin. But I'm all for efficiency, so I do them simultaneously. This depression constricts my chest and my heart. Now the next one is called K27, or the collarbone point. I consider this the most important point in the EFT formula, and in many energy work routines you'll see it repeated frequently. Anytime throughout your day you need a boost, you need to get more centered and focused, you need to just kind of reboot your system, I find this will actually get the meridians flowing in the proper direction very quickly. Works wonders with anxiety. Anytime you're going into a job interview or a stressful situation, even if you have a moment, you can just tap this K27 point in an elevator, in the car, in the bathroom, before you come out to a public place to face something that is stressful for you. So you measure it by going to the inner knobs of the collarbones here, and it's about 1.5 inches down. For me it's 3 fingers, but depends on your hands, of course. And then I'm going to move this down a little. Just slide out about 1/2 inch. It's in between the ribs. And I like for you to rub in this section and places off of the face, because you can feel more if you have contact with it. It's often tender, but don't get too far out here, because you'll be hitting lymph nodes, or down here, in the breast. There's tons of lymph nodes around there, which is, is great to rub too, but that's not the point. So again, you're not going to be that precise. You can rub, and if you get tired of rubbing, tap. 7 to 10 times, but I give this one an extra always because it's so potent for so many things. Whew. And then under the armpit, about 4 inches, turn this way, from maybe the crease or 4-finger width. And for women, it's right halfway in the bra panel. Guys, you'll have to borrow your girl's bra or just put your hand under here. A number of ways you can get at this. This is awkward. Tapping and rubbing this way is awkward, and if you have any joint issues, it's going to not be so comfortable. You can give yourself a hug and get in here and really dig in those ribs. I find it's a little forward for me, not straight down the center line. You can also use your knuckles if you have weak hands. Get in there and rub around. And I've added another one on, a Donna Eden suggestion. It's in the lower part of the body, because there is nothing that's included down there. So it's on the side of the leg, the iliotibial band, which is generally tight anyway, so you might find a lot of sore spots. But it's halfway between the knee and the hips. And again, I would rub and then, tap up and down too. This is a big area, so you're not going to be that precise. Now you're back at the karate chop. You can revisit the setup statement. Remind yourself of what you're working on and that you still love and accept yourself. Check in at that point. Has it gone down any? From 1 round, maybe not. But you should get it down to a 2 if possible, and 0 ideally. If not now, then when you do it again later or tomorrow, or just keep working on it. Then you can say, even though I have some of this depression, even though I have a little of this depression feeling left, I still love and accept myself and feel more hopeful. And that's when you start to transition into the positive statements towards the end, which my longer demo goes over. I'm not going to do that now. Back up here, just keep doing it. And then an optional add-on, which is only another minute or 2, might as well, is called the gamut procedure. Weird name, so I just call it the brain integration process, because I'm certified in NLP, which works with the brain a lot too. This is a technique that is also used in NLP. So the point you hold, and you're going to do each hand as you're moving your eyes a certain way, is between these last 2 fingers. There's a V here, just kind of go down about the middle, and I don't tap. It doesn't feel comfortable to tap on tendons and ligaments. Again, I put my fingertips in this gully here in the middle of them and rub. Now you're going to imagine a clock straight ahead. You're not going to move your head, you're going to move your eyes as if you're looking at the numbers on the clock, going clockwise and then counterclockwise as you're holding the other one. So I'll demonstrate one side. And I just say I release whatever it was I started working on. So you'll see my eyes, watch them closely. Looking at the 12, I release depression and really stretching your eyes far to every angle. I release depression. I release depression. I release depression. Deep breath, blow it out. I release depression. Doing the angles, not just straight up and down. I release depression. 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 Then go the other way. Okay? Now, if you're in a rush and all you can do is tap, I release anxiety, I release anxiety, I release anxiety, then go for it anytime you need to deal with something as an immediate intervention. Bye for now. Namaste.